and put it into a temporary holding location, which is near where most of our animals are. And then after every 6 months or so, we take it down with a bigger loader and we windrow it in big, long row. And I don't have a picture of it right here, but it's just picture a 10-foot high, 20 feet wide at the base, and then in a mound in which we fill it up, and that's just about a year's worth of manure. And then we'll let it sit through the winter, and then in the spring we'll take it out and we'll apply it to our fields. And this year we're actually going to start selling it. We haven't had enough of it in the past to do that, and we have got about 30% more animals now, and we do have enough that we can actually begin to market that. So let me talk about some economics. I actually did a survey of a number of alpaca breeders over the last several days in preparation for this, because I really want to make sure that we always give you numbers. But I can give specific examples of people all over North America who are selling alpaca manure in a non-composted state. So literally it's just put into piles. There's some composting going on. By the way, everybody understands what composting is, right? Put a 1 in the chat if you know what that means. If you don't, I'll explain it a little bit more. Nick does. See what most people do. So I think you understand what that is. Anyway, most people don't do a real efficient job of composting. So they're taking that manure and they're putting it in a pile. Certainly is doing some composting internally. And then they're selling that directly. And the 20 or so breeders that I've talked with in the last week have given an average price of $50 a typical 6-foot bed truck. Some people getting higher than that. One lady that gets $100 from a cannabis grower that takes everything that she can produce. She's got 35 animals, and she wipes him out once every 2 weeks. And he drives from an hour and a half away to get the manure that he uses in his cannabis operation. So that is a market. Again, if you do the marketing properly, that for a farm our size, like I said, we're generating about a pickup load a day. So at $50 a day, 50 times 365 is about $17,000. That's an incredible income source. And if we don't sell it for that amount, and here's what people often forget, I talked about this last week a couple times, is that applying it on our own fields still means that we're selling it for the same value. We're selling it to ourselves. Because if we didn't get it from ourselves, we'd have to buy it elsewhere, and we'd have to pay a similar price for it, maybe even more. So if we don't sell that $17,000, and I was discounting that a little bit, it'd actually be closer to $18,000 at $50 a day in production, then we'd have to buy it somewhere else. And honestly, we'd probably have to spend more than $20,000 for it. So that is truly worth somewhere in the range of $17,000 to $18,000. And again, it is able to be used right out of the animal's rear ends. And Nick was absolutely right. Really, there's only a couple of what we would call the commonly used livestock species that you can do that with. And that's rabbits, and it's really 3, rabbits and goats and alpacas. The problem with those other 2 species, other than alpacas, is really simple. How many of you have goats or have had them? And tell me how they poop. Tell me where they poop, kind of. What's their pooping habit? Somebody out there's got it, so just throw it in. And anybody that's had them for very long, we've had goats for years, there's something they do that's sort of their habit. Yeah, Alyssa says it. Everywhere and anywhere. Yes, everywhere and anywhere. They just, you can't, there's no training, there's not, they're just going to go whenever they want, and they go a lot. They go all the time. So it's everywhere. And if you're growing them in any kind of a paddocked area, which I've told you guys, we have to do where we're at because we've got predators. So it means at night. We have nocturnal predators. And we've got to be protecting our animals from that nighttime predation. And we do that by moving them out of pastures through runways. By the way, this doesn't take much time. Again, one of the videos that I had, and we'll